let's talk about a problem child, Jimmy Butler, because
Yeah,
the Heat. This
that's a
is
professional transition there, by the way.
this is the opposite of what we're talking about, right? I don't know, the levity and the carefree attitude of young athletes. The Jimmy Butler thing is festering and festering, and they've got 48 hours, just about to move them. What do you think ends up happening here?
I mean, I have no clue. I think the thing that is borderline stunning from today is this whole turnabout where it's like, oh, well, he now didn't even want to play for the Warriors, reportedly. Like, the Warriors wanted to trade for him, and he's like, nah. And the only thing I can even think of there is, does he just not want the extra 10% tax in California compared to Arizona? Like, is that it? And so they're just, you can't do that. You can't say one team. We saw what happened when when Damian Lillard and Aaron Goodwin, his rep, wanted to get them to Miami. Like, the league sent out a memo, and I think what you've seen today, and this is just my read on the situation, because you had the report by Chris Haynes, I say an hour, 2 hours ago, that Jimmy Butler's reps have said from the beginning that they want the Heat to find a trade partner, and then and only then will we negotiate. Whatever. It just seems like there's this this feels like it's crossed a line. That's my read on it. It feels like they're getting dangerously close to that area where you're basically saying you're not going to live up to your contract. If you get traded, you're not going to play. You're not going to be happy. You don't want to go there. However you want to phrase it, it feels like it's getting dangerously close to that. So it's going to go one of two ways. I think the Warriors, you've heard the last 24 hours or so, they're desperate. They want to get somebody to play with Steph Curry and try to maximize the last year or two, whatever they think he has left in his prime. That's the one that would seem to make the most sense at this point. But has Jimmy and his rep, have they already burned that bridge? Is that already done? Does Dallas jump in now? I thought the trade for Caleb Martin was interesting. So you can see ways where this would end up with Jimmy going somewhere. But then the question is, has he already burned the bridge so badly with every other team in the NBA that he ends up staying in Miami because nobody wants Bradley Beal's contract?
And Clay, to that point, like it's so, we hear stories, you hear all that. Like, is this good executive work, or is this a testosterone contest with Jimmy? Because at some point, like, he can opt in. Now you owe him another $40 million this year. He can opt in to 52 next year. Like, is Pat trying to prove a point? Is he trying to show who's the man? We called it a game of chicken, or is he just doing legit good executive work to try to get something out of this Jimmy Butler deal?
No, I think he's doing legit executive work, which is to not put yourself in a future hole by making a bad deal. Like, they would rather rip the Band-Aid off and deal with let's say he opts in. They would rather have his expiring contract on the books next year and just figure it out at that point and not have to deal with another bad contract with what you would view as potential dead money moving forward beyond that. And I don't think it's just about, they still have these dreams of getting Luka Doncic next year. And they know that they've got to have some flexibility to build a team around Bam and Tyler Hero and Khalil Ware, or they want to have some flexibility if another superstar eventually asks out. You don't want to take on, for example, Beal's contract and not be able to trade him because he's got a no trade clause. So I think it's them saying, we will deal with this because we would rather not have to deal with being a lesser team when it does come time for us to be able to contend. Because right now, unless something flies out of midair where there's a superstar that wants to come here, this year, they're not going to contend. And I think they know that. And I think they want to be smart about maximizing what they can do in the future when they can potentially make a run at this thing.
Who wins the Super Bowl, Clay?
I know everybody has lost money betting against the Chiefs, so I'm probably going to be an idiot, but I'm going Eagles. I think the Eagles win this thing. I think there's just too much there. I think there's too much talent, and they ultimately find a way.
Man, there's kind of a lot of talent on the KC team too, though. No.
Clay, what do they?
Wait, who
What
do they
Clay?
have?
What do they take? I was gonna say, Clay. They drag it in the mud. Saquon has 180, 3 touchdowns. They slow the game down. Are you seeing it like that?
Yeah, and I also think that, man, I have a feeling Jalen Carter is just going to destroy the interior of that line. I know their line is better. I know all of that. Jalen Carter is just, he's something else. And I just have this vision of of Patrick Mahomes having that pressure right in his face. It's not like the pressure coming off the edge, but you get that pressure coming up the middle, man. That can be dangerous.
Clay Ferraro from Local 10. When he's not trying to get Crowder's daughter teed up, he's bringing you your sports. Channel 10. Make sure you watch him. See you, Clay.
Ava loves you, Clay. Don't let Hawk do that to y'all.
So I tell her we miss her, and Adeline's really excited to play with her next year, and I'll stay out of the way on that one.
Yeah, sounds like Pat Riley talking about Lamar Odom right before he traded his ass.
No, that's going to be Coach Zach. Coach Zach's going to be able to work with those two, and I can kind of finally be a dad.
We'll see you, Palinka.
Oh,
Later, guys.
All right, there you go. Clay Ferraro from Local 10.